When the war starts, the refrigerator becomes worthless. That's why I fill the jars with food on time. I will pour water into the pot. I'll wait for the water to boil. The water has boiled and I put the pasta to cook. From the moment the water boils again, I cook the pasta for 2 minutes. I need clean and washed jars. After 2 minutes of cooking, I will fill the jars with pasta. Do not fill the jar to the top. Prepare food supplies when they are available and while there is electricity. When the crisis occurs, it is too late. I add a tablespoon of 9% vinegar to each jar. I add half a teaspoon of salt to each jar. I'll fill the jars with hot water. Write to me in the comments from which country are you watching me? It's nice to know that we are watching each other all over the world. I close the jars with clean and new lids. I need a deeper pan. I put a cloth on the bottom of the pot. I put the jars in the pot. I pour hot water into the pot, up to the height of the lid. I put the pan on the stove. From the moment the water boils, I cook for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes of cooking, I take the jars out of the pot. When the jars have cooled, store them in a cool, dark place. I hope no one needs this, but I know what it's like when you need it and you have nothing. If you like the video, leave me a heart in the comment and a like. Thank you.
This is a ready meal in a jar, pasta with tomato sauce for days when you can't cook. I pour water into the pot and wait for the water to boil. While I wait for the water to boil, I will make the sauce. I will cut the tomatoes into larger pieces. I will cut an onion into larger pieces. I need a blender. I put onions, tomatoes, two cloves of garlic. I add a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of basil. I add half a liter of water. And I will grind all this. I put pasta in boiling water and cook it for 2 minutes. Now I need clean and wash jars. Fill the jars with pasta. When the electricity went out and I couldn't cook, a jar like this was a meal. Do not fill the jars to the top. I add a spoonful of 9% vinegar to each jar. I add a teaspoon of olive oil. Fill the jars with tomato sauce to cover the pasta. Write to me in the comments from which country are you watching me? It's nice to know that we are watching each other all over the world. I'll wipe the top of the jar. and I close the jars with clean and new lids. I need a deeper pan. I put a cloth on the bottom of the pot, and I put the jars in the pot. I pour lukewarm water into the pot, up to the height of the lid. I put the pan on the stove. From the moment the water boils, I will cook for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes of cooking, I take the jars out of the pot. Store the jars in a dark and cool place until use. If you like the recipe, leave me a heart in the comment and a like. Thank you, dear friends. Stores are open while the system is running. In a crisis, only what you have already prepared remains. Today, we preserve flour. Check whether the flour is wet or dry by squeezing it in your hand. Dry flour crumbles and wet flour remains as a lump. This flour is dry, and I will preserve it in the freezer. It will stay in the freezer for 72 hours. This will kill insects and larvae. After standing in the freezer for 72 hours, I will let the flour come to room temperature. Now I need clean and wash jars. I put flour at room temperature in jars, thus condensation and moisture will not form. When the crisis occurs, it is too late. Prepare a supply of food while it is available. I'll wipe the top of the jar. I close the jars with sterilized and dry lids. Store the preserved flour in a dark place. Flour that is wet remains as a lump in the hand. I need dry jars. I will preserve this flour in the oven. The flour must not be wet because mold will form. Write to me in the comments from which country are you watching me? It's nice to know that we are watching each other all over the world. I don't store flour out of fear. I keep it because I know what a crisis looks like. I need a casserole dish from the oven. I put the jars in a cold oven. I turn on the oven at 100 degrees Celsius. When the oven reaches a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, the jars stay in the oven for 90 minutes. The oven is on all the time. After 90 minutes, I take out one jar. I immediately close the jars with dry and sterilized lids. Use protective gloves. We do everything while it's hot, and I repeat the procedure. Everything works as long as the system works. When it stops, you are left alone with what you have. Everyone copes the way they know how. This is my way. If you like the recipe, leave me a heart in the comment and a like. Thank you, dear friends.